I actually like to give you your test from the very beginning. I think it's really important that you, as the student, are involved in this process of showing me what you know. Okay, so I show students how are we assessing at the end of each unit. Okay, so what you see in front of you here is actually what you're going to get at the end of every single unit that we do for this class. Now, remember back when you watched my past video of like, what is this class even about? I hit really hard on the fact that the point of this class is to get better at having hard conversations. Okay, we are about to get into talking about topics that are really uncomfortable and typically end up making you or your friends, family feel uncomfortable in even having discussions about these different topics. So that is the entire intention behind what you're going to do with all of the information we get from each unit. So this is the rubric that you can always refer back to remember, oh, what am I getting tested on? What all needs to be a part of this? So I'm just going to read through really quick, and then I'll break down what this means. During the course of this unit, you have gathered a lot of information that deals with an issue within our society. Now that you have the tools and the background knowledge of your topic, you are able to handle the now what stage of this class. For each unit, I am asking you to create some form of activism to inform your friends, family, school, or community about content from this unit. The moment of activism must contain historical background on the topic, the current status in today's society, and a possible solution in order to address this topic. Okay, so just know, even if you are attending school in person right now, some work might have to get done outside of class. Okay, so there's two parts to how you are going to be assessed. Part one is a moment of activism. Okay, and this is where you are going to somehow share all the information you've learned from this unit. Okay, so take for example Unit 1. We're going to take a look at personality types, bias, privilege, empathy. You can choose one or all of those topics to really focus in on. What is privilege? What's the history behind privilege? How is privilege viewed today? Okay, so you're going to take all of that information and present it somehow to another group. So that way then, more people will have a better understanding of what's going on in the social topics. So an option you could do is to make a poster and present it to a group. I have a lot of poster board at school, or feel free to make something at home that works for you. Another option is you can host a roundtable discussion. Okay, so maybe after dinner you sit down with your parents, your siblings, and you give a background, you talk about the history behind bias, and then you in turn then ask questions and have a conversation with the people that you have sat down at this table. Okay, that is a great way to share information, share opinions on topics, yet still be able to walk away okay. You are more than welcome to organize a peaceful protest. Okay, so as students, just because you walk through the doors of the building, that does not mean you lose your right to freedom of speech. Okay, so you are more than welcome to protest. However, because this is a little bit more of an emotional way of teaching, you have to go talk to Mr. Turner and organize it through him, as well as create some kind of way to share the information. Maybe that's a pamphlet, a poster that you're holding on to while you protest. Whatever it is, have to make sure you have some kind of way to share your information. If none of those sound appealing to you, you are more than welcome to come up with some way of informing the public about the topic we've just talked about. Maybe you are more like, I am musical and I want to create a song and dance that shares this information. Maybe you are more interested in writing a short story that has this information. Whatever it is, at the end of the day, you have a lot of freedom of how you want to share out this information. So that is part one. is some type of way of teaching other people the information you've learned from this unit. Part 2 is going to be a reflective essay, okay? And it's worth 40 points overall. The first 20 points are coming from the background of this topic, and this is really where you're showing me, hey, I really learned this while we were talking about race. I really keyed into talking about feminism. Okay, so again, you're going to tell me, what are the issues? What's the history behind these issues? What are some laws or policies that are in place that deal with this issue? Okay, so again, that's really where you're showing me your knowledge behind it. Part 2 of this essay is where you are summarizing part 1. Okay, so what this means is you're going to reflect on your moment of activism from the first part of this project. What did you do? Did you host a roundtable discussion? Did you make a poster? Did you make a game? Whatever it is, what did you do? Explain the process that you took. How did you come up with this list of questions? Why did you select this group that you did? Was your moment of activism successful or not? Why? Why don't you think it worked out very well? What can you maybe do moving forward? And then, how are you going to address this issue? How can we address religion? How should we as a society view whatever? Okay, that's really where you get to share your opinion with me and come up with potential solutions to whatever's going on. So overall, this project is worth 40 points. Okay, this is going to come at the end of each unit. So expect the same rubric to be handed out each unit. You have access to it now, so maybe start thinking about what really interests me, what do I want to share to other people that I've just learned. If you guys have any questions, please reach out and let me know.